Now at 5, a woman with nowhere left to turn reaches out to her community after a crash leaves her unable to work.
I just ended up getting a promotion right before the accident happened.
Plus, a tough economy on top of federal cuts are forcing a Washington food bank to restrict its offerings.
That's just going to really exacerbate the issues that folks face every day.
And in Portland, call it the Rose City's version of NASCAR. We check out Ladd Circle, where roads were shut down for a unique bike relay. Thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. A woman involved in a car accident last Monday is turning to the community for help. Our Celine Stevens spoke with her today and is here with more on exactly what happened. Celine?
John, so her name is Juanita Lopez. She's a mom of 3 kids and the sole provider for her family. She was right outside the gates of her job when she was involved in the accident that left her with a broken ankle, severe bruising, and a brain bleed. Luckily, she's alive, but soon to be in need of new transportation to get to work.
I need to provide, I need to buy things. I need to pay bills. It's really hard without a vehicle.
Monday, April 7th, Juanita Lopez was moments away from pulling into her job when she was hit by a driver.
I went to go make a left-hand turn into the company site. As I made the left-hand turn, it was clear for me to go, and then some car, like a small car, it ended up ramming into me.
Hillsborough police confirmed the crash happened before 6:30 in the morning near Northeast Evergreen Road and Star Boulevard. Lopez tells us the other driver was speeding.
The gentleman didn't even push on the brakes because his tires were still spinning as he hit me. And he hit hard.
The truck she was driving totaled in the crash, and Lopez left injured.
I have bruising all over my abdomen. I have bruising on both my legs, my arms, my back. They said I had a brain bleed, a small one, nothing, crazy big, but I did have a brain bleed from me hitting my head so hard. And then I have a fractured ankle.
Lopez has 3 kids and is the sole provider while her husband takes care of the children. She works in security and says she was just promoted at her job before the accident. While she recovers from her injuries, she worries her job will be in jeopardy without a reliable way to get there. Lopez says she'll be grateful for any support that comes her way.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
That is nice. Just getting any little bit of help that I could to get the truck, just again, because it'll help out a great deal. I don't typically ask, but I would just love and appreciate the help from the community and things like that.
Lopez told me the other driver involved in the crash was taken to the hospital, and Hillsborough police confirmed they did survive. They also confirmed neither party was intoxicated. John?
Celine Stevens tonight. Celine, thank you so much for that reporting. A suspect has been arrested in Kentucky for the murder of a mother found dead inside her vehicle in Vancouver. Authorities say 31-year-old Darielle Nunez Montero was arrested in connection with the death of Courtney Valencia Clinton. Vancouver police say Clinton was found dead in November near North Blandford Drive and East Evergreen Boulevard. Her infant was also inside the car and was unharmed. Police aren't saying what led them to the suspect, who was already in custody. Nunez Montero is now awaiting extradition. Economic uncertainty and federal cuts are forcing local food banks to reduce their services. This comes at a time demand for food is growing more desperate. Since 2018, the number of people using food banks in Washington has grown from 16% to 25% last year. At the Sultan Food Bank in Western Washington, a combination of stagnant donations and nearly $5 million in federal emergency food assistance cuts is forcing the organization to reduce the amount of food people receive from a week's worth to just a few days.
Most of the people who come here are working families who just can't afford food even though they work. You have elderly retired people who are on a fixed income, and you have people on disability.
Volunteers say they have seen another 35% increase in demand over the past year. Oregon's Department of Environmental Quality, or DEQ, continues to address issues this weekend following a cyber attack. DEQ shut down all of its systems as soon as they learned of the attack on Wednesday. That means vehicle inspection stations will remain closed through the weekend. DEQ does say there is no evidence so far of a data breach. If you need to reach someone at the department, give them a call. 2 hikers and their dogs were rescued after getting lost in snow near Mount St. Helens in Cowlitz County. The sheriff's office learned they were at Coldwater Lake around 6 Thursday evening. They were able to track their GPS location before their cell phone lost power. After around 4 hours, with the help of a drone, search and rescue found the hikers and brought them back to the parking lot safely just after midnight. Well, it's been kind of a back and forth day with our weather. A few pockets of showers followed by some sunshine, but overnight it sounds like winter temperatures are going to be back in the forecast. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us live from outside here in Southwest Portland. Joe, how cold are things going to get tonight?
Pretty chilly for almost mid-April. I'm on top of the KGW weather deck, sponsored by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. And it's practically mid-April, John, but come the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, a lot of locations, especially throughout the east side of the Multnomah County area, we'll be looking at temperatures right around the upper 20s to low 30s. We do have some watches and warnings I want to get to. The first one is the frost advisory. That's going to be in place throughout parts of the valley, not in downtown Portland, but that blue color is basically parts of the suburbs. We're talking Beaverton, Lake Oswego, and Hillsborough. You go into the parts of the Columbia River Gorge, it is a freeze warning that's in effect into the overnight hours. But as we head into the later part of the month, we generally start to see our temperatures well above freezing. Now, on average, our last freeze at the Portland International Airport is mid-March. Now, I'm expecting to see temperatures just above freezing at the airport. In Vancouver, it's right around April 7th, but parts of Hillsborough and Salem, you still have another week to go where you finally are out of that chance to see freezing temperatures. On the satellite and radar, we have that ridge of high pressure that's been in place, although it's been giving us a little bit of some sunshine this afternoon. Earlier today, we did see some spotty showers. In fact, some of those spotty showers carried over into the later part of this afternoon. And as we look at the futurecast, waking up tomorrow morning, we're going to be looking at clear skies. But the one thing you'll notice, though, are those very cold temperatures. Right out of the gate, we'll be looking at readings in the mid to the upper 30s in downtown Portland, but by midday, 52 degrees. And John, look at that. This time tomorrow, we're going to be seeing temperatures right around 70 degrees. And coming up in my detailed forecast, I'll talk more about the long-range forecast. And I think it's fair to say this is probably going to be the best 7-day forecast we've seen, not just this spring, but potentially this year so far. I'll talk about that in about 10 minutes.
All right, Joe, looking forward to that. Hate to bring you back down from the weather deck. Looks like fun out there. Well, check this out. Today marks the 8th annual Lads 500 bike relay. This year was so big and crazy that organizers got a permit to shut down the nearby streets. The man behind this whimsical neighborhood event said rules don't necessarily apply. You just have to have fun. The premise, which Dave Barstow Robinson created with his friends in 2016, is a 500 lap race around a traffic circle at Southeast Portland's Lads Circle Park. Teams are supposed to trade out riders, bikes, or passengers every 10 laps. But again, no one's keeping track of the rules or the laps, except maybe your own team.
A way to trick my friends into coming on a long ride with me. Of course, then it kind of instantly got big enough that I was busy all day and didn't get to ride any bikes, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
There's unicycles, skateboards, there's toll bikes, there's several different freak bikes. I brought my mini penny farthing, which is a unicycle, but with another, still a bicycle.
Organizers estimate more than 1,000 participants showed up with themed costumes ranging from life-size fruit to matching gnomes. And depending on the width of the circle riders made, organizers say teams can travel 75 to 100 miles during the event. Hundreds more people gathered at Mount Tabor Park this morning to take part in the 11th annual Tabor Challenge. It's a 5K trail race through the Portland Park to raise scholarship funds and honor Thomas Cameron. The Cleveland High School grad lost his life during a training mission for the U.S. Coast Guard more than a decade ago. Runners honor his legacy with funds from this event going towards collegiate scholarships for 2 graduating seniors at Cleveland.
And then something that I've found so beautiful is that the Tabor community, the Portland community, comes to support us without actually having a connection to Thomas, but they have heard the message and learned about who he was, and they want to be a part of this.
Funds raised will also go towards upkeep of the field house at Cleveland's Community Field. A traffic alert for a section of I-205 south of the metro. ODOT has scheduled a full overnight closure for both north and south ramp interchanges of Highway 99E. The closure starts around 10 tonight and is going to reopen at 8 tomorrow morning. And a quick heads up for Sunday morning when thousands of runners are set to hit Portland's roads and bridges. It's the annual Bridge to Bruise, which just crosses back and forth over the Willamette. All three races, the 5, 8, and 10K, finish downtown on NATO between Burnside and the Morrison bridges. TriMet expects brief pauses on MAX lines with some bus lines being detoured.